This is the Bruce Willis cologne, the manliest cologne in the world.
It's called 12 Monkeys.
Alright, try it.
Am I spraying on myself?
Whatever you want. The ether yourself. What do you think? To what would you like in the aroma?
It smells like wood spice. It smells like Old Spice. Yeah, hey.
New Spice?
Joaquin?
Spicy? Little... almost Lagerfeld photo. Smells a little of Lagerfeld photo.
Alright, I like it.
Only better. These would be a really funny joke. These would be a really funny joke. Smell like meat, Joe. Meat. Smell like fresh meat, Joe Black. Spice I could taste was Old Spice. Spice I could taste was Old Spice. Smell like meat, Joe. Meat. Smell like fresh meat, Joe Black.
Monkeys hiding out in a Christmas tree.
That's
That's on top of a taxi cab being driven by Bruce Willis down the street with a Pine Sol air freshener, smoking menthol cigarettes, with Samuel L. Jackson in the back seat.
Bruce Willis was in Pulp Fiction, a minor role.
Yeah, so was Samuel L.
So was Samuel L.
It wasn't that minor a role. It was a pretty good role.
Bruce
He had
Willis.
he had that whole segment to himself.
Yeah,
as the
he
boxer.
did. Yeah.
These would be a really funny joke. Smell like meat, Joe. Meat. Smell like fresh meat, Joe Black. Spice I could taste was Old Spice.
I'm gonna ask you to smell a cologne.
What kind of cologne is it?
This is Bruce Willis by Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Okay. It's sweet, musty. To be honest, it smells like a $30 cologne, so... it's kind of hard to go beyond that, but,
Smells like a what, $30?
it's one of those colognes that I think when you first wear it, it'll be quite strong and noticeable, I suppose. Piney. It's kind of got a piney feel to it as well. It's more of a kind of a somewhat sporty cologne. I mean, the thing about this cologne, it's not very classy. It's not very refined. It's very simple. It hits you with that smell and it kind of persists and doesn't really change at all. My guess is after an hour or so spraying it, it's going to go away. It's not going to linger, if you will. It certainly doesn't get better with time. It only gets worse, probably. So...
It's described as the world's sexiest cologne,
this one.
or the most manly of all colognes.
Is that what Bruce Willis says, or is that what...
That's what Bruce Willis says.
Well, Bruce Willis... How do we say this? He had some manly moments, right? But the fact of the matter is that Demi Moore left him. She left him for someone who's 15 years younger than him, and arguably more manly. So, doesn't really say much about his libido or his manliness, if you will. My guess is this cologne did not keep that marriage together. But maybe if he switched to something stronger, like a Gucci cologne, then he may have he may have a chance finding someone younger as well. I mean, honestly, that's his next move from here. I think if he's going to get married again, or even if he's going to have sex in the foreseeable future, he's got to look younger. Thing about Bruce Willis as well, he was never defined by his fashion or his style or his grace. He could do some tricks, right? And he looked a bit badass with the shaved head and all that, and the goatee. But he was not someone like, for example, Jude Law, right? If he had a cologne, people would buy that because he's all about elegance and class and charisma. Okay, Bruce Willis, he's not. He's about being a sweaty man in a tank top, climbing up a building. So his cologne exemplifies all of that. Thank you very much.
I'm reminded of I guess the third Die Hard movie with a vengeance. Bruce Willis riding around New York City in a taxi cab, going at really, really fast speeds, and just the BO of the cabbie mixed with Bruce Willis's musky manliness, combined maybe with a little bit of like a pine air freshener sitting in the cab. But then it just sort of drops away and leaves just a smooth, it's basically like the end of every movie he's ever done. Girl gets the guy, not quite sure why, but it happened that way. It's mixing a little bit with the casty musk. I think that actually adds a little something to it, to be quite honest. It really takes down the whole, metrosexuality of the whole thing. And just as this pure man, I think he should market it with the cast. Yeah, definitely. That's my answer. It smells like Christmas got blown up in an explosion by Bruce Willis. It smells like Bruce Willis exploded Christmas.
What's it called? Yeah.
For that, I kind of
It does smell like a taxi cab with an air freshener.
a little bit of air freshener in there.
Yeah. Some definite pine notes in there. Pine and menthol.
There's some sort of menthol-y.
I got it now. It smells like a taxi cab driver with a pine air freshener smoking menthol cigarettes.
It smells like Bruce Willis driving a taxi cab, smoking menthol cigarettes with a pine air freshener. Backseat.
Feel free to keep that.
So it smells like Bruce Willis driving a taxi.
Smells like Bruce Willis.
No, I'll say something, you build on it, we'll build on it.
Okay.
It smells like Bruce Willis driving a taxi.
Smells like Bruce Willis driving a taxi, smoking a menthol cigarette.
With like a pine salt air freshener.
Yeah, maybe a pine salt air freshener. Or maybe he's got a Christmas tree on top of the taxi cab.
He's got like 2 Christmas trees and like 6 monkeys playing in Christmas trees.
I think there's some monkeys playing in the Christmas trees on top of the taxi cab. He's definitely smoking a menthol cigarette, and so is Samuel L. Jackson in the back.
12 monkeys.
Smells like a few monkeys. I'm not sure if it's quite 12. At least 3 monkeys.
Monkeys playing with a Christmas tree.
Yeah. Monkeys hiding out in a Christmas tree.
Monkeys playing
That's on top of a taxi cab being driven by Bruce Willis down the street with a pine salt air freshener, smoking menthol cigarettes, with Samuel L. Jackson in the back seat.
Bruce Willis was in Pulp Fiction, a minor role.
Yeah, so was Samuel L.
So was Samuel L.
It wasn't that minor a role. It was a pretty good role.
Bruce
He had
Willis.
he had that whole segment to himself.
Yeah,
as the
he
boxer.
did. Yeah.